podcast. I'm Greg Giles.
I'm Ryan Millett.
Tom Lemke.
And John Futcher is not here because he sucks.
He's gone.
He's out of town.
He passed away.
Traveling.
Wow. Whoa.
He passed
April
away.
Fools.
Oh, that's a good one.
Too bad this won't be out for several weeks.
And then everybody just thinks he actually died.
Oh. R.I.P.
Yeah, we were saying earlier that the internet's basically useless today. But
Because of Miitomo.
because Miitomo. Exactly. So Miitomo came out yesterday, and everybody's playing it.
It's melting.
Don't worry about that.
You don't need that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well,
I feel like more of a professional.
we're talking about the pop filter
spit
on
catcher.
the stand.
But
He
then
just
you'll
wants
have
it near him.
You'll have a double windscreen, which actually two professionals makes you look less professional.
A windscreen does?
Like just having double, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
'Cause you
spit
have this
catcher.
And you have that. And...
Yeah, but this podcast is not for professionals. So.
So yeah, Miitomo.
Miitomo. So I actually downloaded it yesterday, and I played with it a bit, and I set up my Mii, and I still have no idea really what this game is about.
And we're not friends yet? Are we friends yet?
I mean, I haven't really done anything. I mean, are you talking about real life or in the game? Because no to both.
Wow.
Snap.
Yeah.
April Fools?
No.
Shit.
No,
God.
we are not friends because I haven't taken any in the game.
I'm leaving.
Because I haven't taken the time to set up.
He's not friends with me either. No.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are taking.
I'm working
you're
on
really
it, though.
getting offended by like a thing I haven't.
I thought we were building a thing.
I haven't set up the app. It's not a slight. I'm just not done installing
I thought we were
it.
friends in real life. That's what I'm offended about.
Who cares about that? Real life. This is a video game podcast. We don't talk about
We
real
don't have to be
life.
friends. We don't
So what's
see people. We live
what
in
do
VR.
what do you do? So I set up my Mii. Now what can I expect? What do I do now?
People are going to walk into your house and tell you their deepest childhood regrets and memories in comedic ways. And then you're going to be like, get out of my house.
And also their favorite food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody likes rye bread and pizza.
Is that true? Rye bread's a hit?
Everybody's got cats.
Chris really likes
You guys
rye bread.
No, we should make rye bread pizza.
Rye bread's the bomb.
Is that a thing?
I don't like rye bread.
Marble rye crust.
Well, you can still make
It
money.
look cool.
Okay.
You have to,
Make you
I
more,
buy
'cause
lots
I
of
won't be
bullshit
eating
that
Make
it.
a
apparently
Reuben
the people
pizza.
who make it don't care about. So
That's fair.
Let's make a Reuben pizza.
a
What?
Reuben pizza.
Reuben pizza.
I don't even know.
A Reuben calzone.
All right.
You're losing me. A
Let
Reuben
that
pizza
sink in.
calzone.
No, one or the other. Can't have both.
So
This isn't heaven.
rye bread and pizza are the favorites.
And cats. Lots of cat questions.
Lots of cats.
Wow, that I expect with
Whenever
this
you
crowd.
type the word cat, your Mii's face turns into a cat for a split second.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Also puppies. I saw that one too.
Huh.
Yeah,
They
they're
have some
the Mii's are very animated now.
Are they
Oh yeah. They're just
now
Even
compared to?
pure anime even.
Really?
They get really intense.
Do they?
Damon
So-
just came to visit me and he just like his eyes are glowing and like just I don't know, like dark streaks came out of him when he asked me a question.
Damon just sounds like he like hacked the game and he's just the dark lord of the Miiverse.
Well,
now.
he did send me a nude. So.
Less than 24 hours later, Damon has figured out how to send a dick pic through the Miiverse.
Yeah, because you can you can customize your clothes and stuff, and so you could just take them off, so you get your Mii in their underwear, and yeah, Damon just decided to take a picture.
MeUndies?
Yeah, it's a MeUndies. This podcast is brought to you by MeUndies.
Unfortunately, we're not even sponsored by every podcast but us gets sponsored by the MeUndies.
How do we get that? MeUndies,
We just
call
pretend
us.
to be. We just peddle their advertisements so we'll look cool.
I hear they're comfy. I've never bought them.
Actually, I did buy some MeUndies. They are great. Anyways, moving
Nice.
on. MeUndies, if we can give you more of that if you want, and I know you're listening.
Yeah, you got to pay for the 5 more
You
minutes.
got to pay for that. That's a little taste.
that.
So compared to what though? Like compared to like the Miiverse of like
Yeah,
3D I don't
yeah.
know,
I
what
mean,
else?
it's a progression of this thing they've been building since the Wii. Even
Since
at
the
first
Wii?
it was just like little customizable avatars, and then they started getting implemented more and more into games. And
Yeah.
becoming more expressive through that. But now they're just like
There's
kind
no
of
like.
very cartoonish at this point,
but they
like-
weren't initially.
like
saying?
animated wise.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, I see.
like action wise.
Okay.
There's no like direct messaging though, right? It's just like
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's kind of like
See,
what I
that's
like
really-
about it.
It's actually really interesting that Nintendo is doing a game that's basically purely social because they are so known for just not putting social elements
Yep.
in their games. Like, you basically can't really talk to each other. I mean, I think that they even kind of pioneered definitely like having an online game and just removing all the social stuff, because it just inevitably devolves into name calling and stuff, and in order to avoid that. And so now this game is entirely that thing that they avoid, right?
Yeah.
So which is really interesting to see how they do that.
I think the way that they're at least getting around that clashing with their previous mentality is that the only way you can add people is if you have them on Facebook or Twitter, and then also, or if you're in the same room or something. You know?
That's smart. Yeah, because then you basically, I mean, you kind of have to know the person.
Yeah, you don't really have to worry about it anymore. Then you know it's kind of out of your hands at that point.
Yeah.
Because I noticed it at first too. Because even Don, he dropped the word shit in there, and
there's
that.
definitely no censorship. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
And
talking
it doesn't censor it.
no. And
See, that's hilarious, because when you're making your me, it does censor you. I couldn't be DJ Poop Pants. I couldn't even put poop in the phonetic part. It wouldn't let me.
Yeah, that is Greg's avatar.
That's me on every. If you ever see
Nothing-
DJ Poop Pants on the internet, that's me every time.
I couldn't fit anything. Was that the issue, that it just wouldn't fit?
No, it fit. It just said this may be offensive to others. Or something.
Because
Which
I couldn't
happened-
fit any of mine.
What do you mean?
Like any screen name or anything I go by, none of them fits.
You couldn't fit
so I
like
just have
Apple
Tom.
Bonker or anything? You mean? Yeah. So you're just Tom.
There is one other way to.
I
add
went with
people.
DJ Seltzer because that's my other. I like Seltzer a lot.
Sounds like a Futch name.
Why?
Futch drinks all the seltzer. I've
He
never
does.
seen you drink seltzer.
What? Dude,
I saw you drinking it earlier.
you must not look at me. I'm always drinking
don't.
seltzer.
Yeah, I avoid that.
that's understandable.
You know why they would do that? I think there is one more way to add people, is if you have mutual Miitomo friends.
Okay, see,
So
that's
that
where
way
it
you
starts
can
to
be
look
more.
like it'll get out of control.
Yeah, that way you can be more publicly seen. So I would assume they'd censor that a bit more than they would
Yeah.
just whatever else.
But it is funny that ODB, I did see that post you put. He wrote, "Why do people treat each other like shit on the internet?" or
Yeah.
something, right?
Yep.
And they just let it happen.
Yeah.
Honest-
Yeah, and then like everything is spoken in the
Uh-huh.
game too.
Yeah, with
So, like,
this
your
like
character says
very robotic. That
I,
it's so
I
weird.
pushed my robot voice as hard as it can go. It's like the deepest.
Yeah, you're
slowest.
real deep.
It's like
you do it like
disturbing.
real slow too.
just
Yeah.
groans.
Everything's down except for like the pitch. I think the pitch is like, or no, it's not the pitch. It's the depth. Depth's all the way up. Everything is all the way
Right.
down.
So there's like
Nice.
5 or 6
There's
dynamics
pitch,
to-
speed, accent, energy, and depth.
And
Yeah,
then there's also
Your personality.
the way you enunciate things as well. There was like 4 options
Yeah.
there as well.
like inflection. Where
Yeah,
it's
inflection.
Like
Yeah.
the first one was like just all falling like.
4
my
is
name
like the
DJ
most
Poop
nonsensical one.
Yeah, I just went with 1. I was like,
Yeah.
actually sounds like sentences.
The rest of them, the rest of them just went up and down wildly. Like
I'm Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I understand that. I did the same thing. We all picked the first one. I mean, it didn't really seem like. No, even if I don't know, do you guys make these? Try to like recreate yourself pretty closely, or do you try to like?
I think it was
Not
harder
at all.
this time. Like when I made a me, when I got the Wii when I was like 15, it was just like me. And this one's kind of close, but they didn't have my hat. Which I
Yeah.
didn't like. The hat options are kind of killing me.
Yeah, because you gotta buy them, unlock them. I mean,
Yeah,
but or whatever.
Is there any like pay element in this?
And I
I
don't
bet I've seen.
think so.
I bet there will be though.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I mean, this app is basically just their like soft
yeah,
entry into mobile, which has been something we've been talking about for a while. Which
Yep.
is like they're finally going outside their own platform for the
Mhm.
first time, and that's really interesting. Yeah, so I mean, I think I see this as just being an experiment. Like they're just learning the platform and
Yep.
releasing and distributing. I assume that. Well, I don't know. None of their games have like in-app purchases or like anything like that right now.
I
so
think they started to do some of that stuff on the 3DS.
did they?
They had like mini like free games. They had a different name for it. It wasn't like free to play.
But it's basically that model, right?
yeah, they started to actually like release some small games like that. on
I
there.
mean, it seems hard to believe that people, especially a company of their size, would be making a game on mobile device and not having some sort of monetization through like item purchases or
I mean there's in-app currency, so I mean it's just
really
next step on it.
See,
I
that's
can
the
see
only
it totally
yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
I think it was free to start. I think that's what they called it.
Free to start.
Yeah, so I mean it's more honest.
That's actually a way better way to put it.
It is. Yeah. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, good.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
and I don't think that deters anybody either way. Like I don't think
Yeah.
anybody's like, oh, free to start.
yeah, because you just try it out if you like it. Pay $5, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's polished for sure. It feels good
Yeah.
for what it is. It's kind of more interesting than I expected to an
Yeah.
extent. Like, it's kind of
how is that? Like, what's interesting about it?
Just the things that people are surprisingly like putting in there at times. Like, I mean, for example, Don just sent me. No, not Don. Damon just sent me a nude, and I
Right.
totally didn't expect it. Like,
Was that, he had
a
underwear
nude,
though, right?
so to speak.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
About as nude as a me can be, probably.
But it was just so funny, like the setup. He's just like, I took a picture recently. I want to show it to you. And it's like I'm just telling him to leave my house. And he showed me that. I actually just burst out laughing because I really didn't expect it. And I mean, it's stuff like that. Like, it seems like there's enough on the ground floor that like there's enough surprises. At least, I mean, I'm a day in, but like there's enough that I'm just like, oh, I didn't expect that at all.
It kind of reminds me of like Fibbage or like Quiplash, like the way you answer.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like how people are just like eventually just start going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, at first
like
I was
really
like, yeah, I
ridiculous
like
shit.
wheat bread, and then I started to see other people from the game space answering things really absurdly. So then it's like, imagine flowers in a field, and I was like, oh, all I see is death around me.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
It makes it more exciting then.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this experience as far as Nintendo goes parallel anything else they've done? I mean, like, what's the next closest thing to this? Like, did you play Tamagotchi Life?
I did
think?
not.
No, yeah, I had it and I messed around, and this does kind of seem like that. Actually,
Yeah,
it
I
seems
could-
pretty similar from what I've played
From what I've
and seen of
heard
both.
about it, I
yeah,
can see that.
it actually, now that I think about it, I think this is maybe just that, going to be that at least.
Could
yeah.
be.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it and messing around, and I guess adding my friends and messing with them.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to just see. I mean, they're small random questions, but just to see what your friends come up with is kind of exciting in itself. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you don't expect, and as they're pitching in the game, they're like, "Yeah, you're going to learn a lot about your friends." Like, to an extent, I am learning a lot about some of these people. So, because I mean, I don't know everyone super well here, so
Well,
it's
like, what are you
interesting.
learning about them?
Well, some of them are really fucking weird,
Yeah.
which is great. I think it's hilarious.
No, that's
but-
what. Yeah, but it's cool that we all get a space like that to mess around in, because
Yeah.
that's like the only, that's a hard thing with gaming with people is everything. Even if you're on the same platform, there's just different games, and everybody wants to play a different game. And like, this actually brings me to something else we've been playing lately, which is Minecraft. And I've been thinking lately, like, what's like, I don't know, I've just been thinking a lot about how in playing Minecraft, because I've never really played it until the past week. And I put up a server just because I knew a lot of people play it. It's really accessible, really easy to pick up, and it just seems to be like the most universal game. And it's, that's kind of like a bummer. The bummer of gaming is you kind of never get all your friends in one place. And even within a game, even when everybody was playing WoW, like everybody was on different servers, and it's just like really hard to centralize that experience where we're all in the same place playing the same game in the same world. Like that, something like that doesn't really exist yet.
Yeah.
This sounds like it could be that, and
Yeah.
Minecraft is like the next closest thing I can think of that. And and it just, it really is just about the interactions between people, and that's what makes everything really fun. And it's just a shame that I don't even know that it's possible to do that, right? Like, there's no one game everybody's gonna like. It'd be like having one food everybody likes. Nobody likes.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
Not everyone likes rye bread.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I see your point there. And this kind of gets around that because you take it at your own pace.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can just answer questions for yourself if you want, and your friends interact with those at a later point, at some point.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
like you and vice versa, like you interacting with other people like on things they already talked about in the past, but it's like it's this persistent game to you in your perception, which to an extent Minecraft can be too, because like
it is
on our server, for example, like you can go off on this crazy adventure, but you're still like in that world, and maybe Futch will play later.
And also, I mean, you can do things in the world that are persistent, and then somebody can see them later. You log in and you see other people have been doing things in the world, and so you still feel involved in it, right? Like we're kind of like what we have going on the server is like you started building a crazy thing,
I built a really large,
a big churchy, like modern churchy thing.
I'm going for castle, but we'll see where it ends up. Thinking of making a glass dome on it. I'm not sure, but I'm afraid it'll just look like a penis then.
I mean, I'm confident there will be no shortage of penises in the world eventually. And no, you're building a nice big castle-y thing, and then John built a thing, and then I built it, and so now we have almost like a town feel to it.
Which one was yours?
Mine's built into like a hill, so it's kind of hard to see because I just dug into a hill and then built inside of it.
Okay. I think I came across that.
You might have. When was the last time you played?
I played that first night. And I played for like 5 hours straight.
Did you?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Minecraft and I have a history.
Oh, it's so good. It's such a good game.
It's
it really
good.
Is. I've played. I never played it until recently, and I've played all the derivatives of it. Not all of them, but I've played a lot. Like we talked about Don't Starve on this podcast before. My girlfriend and I play a lot of that. And I've played a lot of, and I played a lot of Terraria, which seems, that one's pretty similar too. And I picked this one up, and it was still good. And, and it reminds you like, okay, Minecraft was maybe to an extent, Notch did just kind of stumble on an idea, but it actually is just a really well-made game on its own, right? Like there's something there that exists on its own. Like there's just something very satisfying about that game, and kind of fun, and there's just like an easygoingness to it, but it also doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't challenge you so much, but it also doesn't feel completely boring all the time. I don't know.
I when I first got into it, probably back in 2011 or so, 2010.
That game's been out a while.
Yeah, it was the first game I had played in a long time that really like reignited that sense of wonder in games for me.
Yeah, because
like when you're young, you're just like, I just want to explore every single nook, and then like eventually I get to an age or a point where games, they're so overly streamlined in a lot of ways, to the extent of just like you kind of know what matters in the world and what doesn't, and you don't really feel compelled to explore more of it. Right. And maybe that's just a time thing on my part, but I don't know. Kind of lost that wonder. Minecraft, it like reignited that. I was just like, here's a cave. Like, I'm gonna fucking go in there.
And I actually had
maybe there's diamonds.
Yeah, and then you find like a thing you never saw before, and
it's like
especially
this
when you're first starting
like
out,
cavern down there, and this whole system of caves, and you get the whole thing lit up, and you explore the whole thing, you get all the elements out, and you're just like, yeah, I feel good. And then a creeper runs up behind you and blows up.
And those creepers though, as annoying as they are, they're so good. They're just the light pressure you need in that world to make it feel alive, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's not like you've always got to be on your guard for them. I mean, you kind of do, but it's never like, it's really easy to forget about them.
Oh yeah.
But then when they get you, it's just a reminder that like, it's just this like, it gives you this like, just like I said, this small little pressure on you, just enough to kind of make it brings the world to life in a really good way.
Are there all mobs on that server?
It's just vanilla survival. So
okay.
And whatever that entails, I don't even know what it is.
Have you only seen creepers then?
I've seen creepers, and so I actually did get killed by a wizard, which I'm told is actually a witch, but it's a wizard.
What?
Yeah, it was like I heard this.
I haven't played in a few years, so I'm in for surprises too.
There's been a lot that's changed, is what I'm told. Like people that played a lot a few years ago are like immediately see new stuff. Like so. I was in this cave and I just heard this like laughing in the dark, and it was really creepy. And then I was like, I'm gonna go get whatever this is, and I saw this wizard, and then he just started like throwing stuff at me. and then he poisoned me. And I was just beating the shit out of him with an iron sword. And then he pulled out a potion and drank that. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I was still going on him. I just couldn't kill him, and he killed me, and I lost a lot of stuff. And that was like my first death on the server. And I still haven't been able to fight because I got a friend, and I was like, yo, we got to go ride on this wizard that killed me. And we could not find him.
I swear he's over here.
Yeah, we wandered around, and actually we ended up finding an interesting cave where we were like, we kind of gave up on that and just started spelunking, and then we walked into this dark, and then I almost walked right off an underground cliff into this huge ravine, and then so we like built down into the ravine and like put all these, and eventually, you know, it becomes fully lit and you can see the whole thing, and you just like, there's just such a, I don't know, there's just such a great sense of exploration in that game, and it's so simple, and it just at the same time it just does it better than, you know, I've been playing like The Witcher 3 and stuff lately, and that's like, I get more out of this than I get out of that super high fidelity complex experience. Like I get so much more out of Minecraft personally, and I feel like they're not quite going for the same thing, but I mean I know they're going about them in different genre ways, but I feel like the end result is kind of what they're both trying to evoke, a feeling of adventure, right? Yeah. And I don't get that nearly as much in The Witcher. I feel so steered and stuff in a way that I don't in Minecraft.
Maybe it's just the amount of agency you have.
I mean, yeah, that's a big part of it. I find worlds of just ambiguous colliding systems and to be way more fun than like an explicit narrative. Yeah. Yeah. Because things just kind of happen. You get stories that you just couldn't get otherwise.
Yes, exactly.
Have you played any?
I never got on the Minecraft train. Yeah. I played Unturned, which is similar.
Never even heard of that one.
It's like Minecraft with zombies.
Okay. Well, there's zombies in Minecraft.
But they start you like, you're just like some butt naked dude just like standing in the middle of nowhere. And you gotta like
that sounds like this.
You gotta find clothes and weapons, and you can like drive cars, but they like blow up after a while, and it's pretty sweet. But like that really set like how bad my laptop's getting. It's like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is just like cubes, but I like wanted to turn the graphics up, and it still was just like nope.
In that game, it's voxels too.
Yeah, I think so.
By the way, anyone that wants to join our server, it's bgs.mcph.co.
Don't blow my house up.
Blow Ryan's house up.
Don't blow my house up.
And you will get a special prize.
What? No.
That reminds me though, like when I was in high school.
Son of a bitch. April Fools.
When I was in high school, I used to like play like Xbox with my friends, but half of the people who were like on like Xbox Live, like in the chat or whatever, weren't playing like Halo with me. They were like playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
And my one friend, he was just like, he told people like, these are the rules. And
what do you mean?
Like he had like this code of honor that he played with. And
I think we should adopt it on the server.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. Like he's like, you don't go to somebody's house and break the glass because glass is really hard to make, and it's just a dick move.
Glass isn't that.
No, it's not. Your friend's not good at Minecraft, but that's still a good rule.
But like,
see how much glass I got in my house?
Yeah.
They went to like somebody's house and just like burned the whole fucking thing down and just destroyed it. And he's like, "What are you guys?" He was losing his mind. Just
if you have to make rules for that for your friends are assholes, and you need to get.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Damn. And I'm just sitting there playing SWAT, like listening to
around in Minecraft.
Apparently, don't blow my house up.
What's that?
I was like playing SWAT, just like listening to him like lose his mind on these guys. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with this.
That seems way more fun than actually playing the game. Man, he's got like
it was pretty intense.
Those are good rules though. I hope nobody does that on our server, but
that's what kind of like when I used to play Halo, not to jump on the Halo train now, but
burn it down.
I used to like play Forge all the time, and like people would sneak into my like server and just start like fucking with the shit I was building.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I don't remember how they did it, but like random people would just hop in. Like I'd open it up so like one of my friends could come in, and then
just like
some random dude would come in and just start moving shit around, and I'm like,
you could bring randoms into that.
It was weird. It was like Reach, so I don't know if they had it like figured out really well back then. But
supposedly you can just join it. Like our server doesn't have a password on it, and I guess anybody could join up, but I think you just have to like the only way you could really do that is if you did like just a deep IP scan of the internet, right? Like you just have to scan all IPs on that port. Like I don't think there's any central listing of servers. Well, unless you opt in. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
But there's gotta also be a service that does that. That just does scan like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
No griefers. Don't blow my house up. Don't burn it down.
You should really log in and go look at your house.
This isn't live. Unless you did something.
Oh, no. Edit in a clip a week later.
No! Yeah, so Minecraft's cool, and I'm interested to see. I hope everybody keeps going with it. I'm certainly not going to stop anytime soon. I've just been having a lot of fun exploring and messing around with the world. My only thing is that it's surprisingly the game like doesn't run as well as you think it would for such a low fidelity game.
It always had issues.
Yeah, like the view distance for one is really short, and it's really hard to turn that up without just bringing your server to its knees. I mean, I don't have a super powerful server, but still, like whatever. I just don't think. I don't know. I just wish it was like I just wish I could see further with It's hard to like know where you are sometimes when you can't see all that far, and I just feel the world feels so much better when the draw distance is turned up. But like I said, that
so I guess that would be live streaming from the server. You can't. It doesn't cache it locally at all.
No, it does. I think
so. If you walk further, will it cache it?
Exactly. Okay. So if you go explore a place and then. Like if you walk off, like you wouldn't be able to see a mountain in the distance. But if you walk north, you may not see anything when you start out. But then eventually it'll render in a mountain, and then when you go back to where you started, you could probably still see that mountain. Okay. Like it does cache it locally.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And that's good. But I mean, I think I do maybe understand a little. Like, I mean, the world is granular in a way that games aren't usually. Usually like. A flat space is kind of just a normal plane, but in this world, there are all these like boxes that can change and morph and things that are not. It's not static in a way that online games usually are. In WoW, you can see pretty far, right? But those are just like unchanging meshes, right? So I kind of get it.
I mean,
but still, I feel like it could be done. I don't know.
It probably can't be. Yeah. I mean, it was never good.
Yeah.
And I assume since Microsoft acquired it, maybe that's something they're working on. But I think they're just kind of focused on console versions as well.
I don't know.
So
I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know. What are they doing? Adding Bash to Windows. That's what they're doing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Somebody on the Linux subreddit posted today on April Fool's saying like, with all the news with Microsoft and Linux, any headlines today I see about Microsoft and Linux, like I don't know if they're April Fools or not because they're going crazy. They added Bash to Windows, and then there was something else where like there was some other news right before that.
Azure or whatever.
Yeah,
you do IIS or
Linux they're adding like Linux. Yeah, that's right. They're add to their like cloud service, which that one's not such a big deal.
Yeah,
but the Bash and Windows one is nuts. Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways. Nerd. Yeah, Minecraft's good, and what is it? Is
Miitomo.
it Miitomo?
Miitomo
is good.
Game of the year. Calling it now.
I mean, yeah, it's promising. I think it could be.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's going to be some kind of hub for future things that they're working on with however they're going to scope out My Nintendo and stuff. I'm sure it'll be like the social aspect of it.
Yeah, I think this is the seed of a bigger...
Kind of like how the Miiverse is now. It could be like the evolution of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad they're finally starting to test those waters and branch out a bit because they've really needed to for a long time.
Yeah, they've been. It's a shame, Nintendo, in my opinion, consistently makes the best games, and but then at the same time, they're committed to their own platform in a way that I like. If you buy a Nintendo. You buy Nintendo hardware to play Nintendo games, period.
Yep.
Like, you don't get anything else, really. Mm-hmm. Like, any game that makes it to the Wii is probably being done better on a different console.
Yep.
And so it's hard for me to buy a full console at a full console price and get just the Nintendo stuff. I mean, it's not like it's completely not worth it because their games are that good.
Yep.
But... you know, I feel like they're probably going to need to do some Sega type stuff soon. And I mean, I think they are already, clearly. I hope they never get rid of their platform altogether. I mean, I don't think they could. I mean, mobiles, or their like 3DS, the DS, like mobile arena for them is huge, so they couldn't. But
are they like running that Pokemon Go thing, that mobile?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's another thing.
I haven't heard about that.
I don't know if that's out yet, or I remember seeing the release and I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah, they had like a
I haven't heard anything since
for it or something during the
What is this?
Super Bowl?
It's like
real world.
I remember there was like an app that came out a long time ago that was kind of the similar idea. Like you hook it up to your GPS and like you'll encounter Pokemon, but it was kind of lame. But this one seems like it's going to be a little bit cooler.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's like
it looks mildly dangerous though.
Yeah,
like,
putting it in your car.
The end of the commercial, like Mewtwo pops up in like the middle of Manhattan, and everybody's just running into the street and like trying to defeat him and catch him.
Oh yeah, that doesn't seem well. Hopefully,
like Mewtwo can't even like go anywhere without getting his ass kicked.
Oh, you're saying dangerous for the Pokemon?
Well, for both.
I was just trying to go to Wegmans.
You're just like driving down the road, and then like 30 people run out in the middle of the street, and they're like, Mewtwo over here. I need him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'll ever get that intense, but
yeah,
it's what is that, an ARG? Is that?
Yeah, I guess that would be that would be an ARG.
Yeah.
So another game I've been playing, or I was playing last night, and I'm almost done with, is Firewatch.
Yeah.
Which is made by some of my favorite people. The guys, a few of them are on the Idle Thumbs podcast, which is a really good one. If anyone listening has never checked out Idle Thumbs, absolutely do it. It's in my opinion, firmly the best gaming podcast around.
Also, some of my favorite people.
Yeah, they're great. So this game is been doing really well, and I've been looking forward to it for a while. And the play experience is okay. You do that, and so
bye, Tom.
The play. Can you bring me a seltzer? Because I love them. I'm not kidding. Can you bring me one?
You want a beer? Okay. I wouldn't turn down a beer. Beer.
I think you're getting a seltzer.
Damn it.
So playing this game, I'm not just like playing a game and like normally, like I'm playing a game made by people I've been listening to talk about design for years.
Yeah.
And then they finally got a crack at basically doing a game entirely on their own.
Yeah. I'm glad you're as familiar with them as I am, because that actually did scope something very specific about what I thought the story was leading to.
Really?
In a very, like, a way that I never would have thought about it that way if I didn't know those people.
Okay, so well, it's funny because I am kind
of. Yeah.
Okay,
once you're done, I'll tell you. But
all right. Yeah, my guess is
I really thought it was going down a certain path, though, and I was like, I know these people.
No, totally. That's actually exactly what I'm doing. It's like the story. I've got a pretty good guess as to where it's going based on it's written by Sean Vanneman.
Yeah. And
knowing the kind of stuff that guy likes and the stuff he's talked about on the cast, and just kind of he's more of a writer. I mean, these guys also did The Walking Dead, and that was kind of like that was a huge sort of landmark game in game narrative. I think like just sort of recognized to be one of the like just like exceptionally well done. Okay. That's lime. I'll take it, I guess. Wait, what about the beer?
Yeah, where's the beer?
You want a beer?
Yeah.
You kidding? Can you give me a regular and not a lime? Thanks.
I'm gonna hear about this on Miitomo later.
So knowing just that guy's. Who knows? I don't know who he really is. I know him. I know I guess the character of Sean I get on the podcast, which is, probably pretty similar. But I can't act like I know him and what he's thinking. But at the same time, I've heard him. I know the kind of media he likes. I know. Mm-hmm. I know how he thinks a little bit, and yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I've got a guess as to where this story is going.
Helped with writing as well.
Did he?
Yeah, and
that's Chris Remo.
Yep.
Yeah, he did the music.
Oh, it's real good.
And the music is really good.
It's real good. Probably his best, at least from what I've heard of his work.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Yeah. So So what do you think about this game? What you finished it? You played it all the way through.
I did.
I think I'm almost done, but
yeah, I might have another go at it because
yeah.
I think from what they said, it can be pretty branching in how you build this relationship with Delilah. Do you want to talk about what it is, or if anyone doesn't know, or like the game?
Yeah, explain like what the game is.
Yeah, so it's like a first-person exploration-ish game, kind of. You're not really exploring, though. You're kind of like, you're doing work. You're doing a job. You're a guy in a forest who needs to look out for fires and prevent people from starting them.
Right.
The game is really about your relationship with your supervisor.
Yes.
Delilah, who you talk to constantly on the radio.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh. Over easy.
These are eggs.
What is this? Egg beer? Really?
Is that real? Oh.
April Fools.
Yeah.
So yeah, Firewatch is about building or not building this relationship with this character. So
did you build?
I built a little bit. Yeah.
I actually really don't like her. And I've just been very closed with her.
Okay,
which is funny. I'm playing
that's super interesting.
I'm playing it half just to see how it goes, and half because I actually really don't like her.
Okay,
and that's not to say she's not a well-written character. I think she's a really well-developed character.
Yeah, it's
I
like
just
a person
don't like
you
her.
don't like her.
Yeah, it's just as a person I don't.
I started to get there a little bit, but then I was like, considering my guy's situation, I was like, I could use a friend. She's nice to me, whatever.
Yeah,
so
right.
I went with that. I was like,
kind of like being your college dorm friend,
and that's why I want to play it again, because like I made a decision at some point. I'm like, this time I'm gonna like her.
Yeah.
Next time, maybe not.
Yeah. So I'm taking the not like I'm staying very closed with her, and I mean, I don't know what to say about it because I don't know what would be different.
What is she like then? Like, how does she?
She's relentless. She doesn't seem to give a fuck what I think about her. Honestly, she.
Oh, it's amazing.
She will like. I feel like she just keeps asking me about my relationship, and I'm actually as a player kind of curious about as to like what this guy did to get here. But as like role playing in real life, if somebody was coming at me the way she is, I would be like, "Who the fuck do you think you are asking me all these really personal questions? Like, I don't know you, and I probably would like you if you would leave me alone." Or so I'm kind of playing it with this very like who are you to ask me? Like I would in real life.
Yeah,
I'm not really suspending disbelief as I should. There's no. I'm just kind of being an asshole. I'm like, but I like it. I think it's a fun way to play the game. And
yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't like that's totally different than my experience already. So that's funny that she's just doesn't give a shit.
She just keeps asking me, and I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it. And she's like, yeah, but I know you don't want to talk about it, but like, tell me about it. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. And then she told me a story, and then I was like, all right. And then I still don't want to talk about it. Like, I don't know what. So
is that about Javier?
Oh, what?
Story of Javier.
Which was interesting. So, you know what I want to say about this game is, and I think is really important, is I feel like we finally have a game for adults. It's not like there's never been one, but this is like, for me, it's finally I can draw a line in the sand and be like, for all the times video games thought they were being mature and having mature content and trying to be adult, it was just never happened. It's always like, oh, let's put boobs in it, so it's mature. Oh, let's put blood and like swear in it, so it's mature. Yeah. And it's just like, no, those things are actually really juvenile. Like, and not this game has swearing and sex and stuff, but it's handled in actually mature way. Yeah, and it's hilarious. Like it's just like finally, like this is it. Like this is. I've been waiting for this for a really honestly, I was pretty aware even in like
been
in
waiting
high
to
school.
talk about sex like an adult.
Yeah, like there's some people that have actually done it and don't it's just like a thing in your life. Yeah, not like the focus, and not like I don't know, you know how it is in games. It's just not realistic.
It's like, oh, check out boobs.
Yeah, boobs are great.
We're mature. Yeah, fuck you, man.
This game's for adults, so there's boobs in it. It was almost invariably that. So I'm really happy with this game for that reason. But anyways, going back. So yeah, you're just like a guy in the woods. Sort of you're there for your own reasons, and at the same time you're dealing with the external world and making choices, and you're definitely in a situation that is more than it seems to be, though. I'm curious as to see where this go. I've got some guesses.
Mystery.
But I mean, overall, would you say this is a good game?
Yes. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really weird going from The Witness to this, because they're like these lush, ample worlds, but at the same point they're completely different.
Yeah, that's very
in
true.
Very many ways, and so it was kind of
they're similar enough that like
my brain was like, oh yeah, I got this.
Yeah, I know what's going on here, right?
And then, man, I was just like, no, this is a completely different type of game.
Yeah, we can't look at it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially when I was just talking about how The Witness is like, it's so intentional in everything you do. And that's not saying Firewatch isn't.
Right.
Because Firewatch is to a different extent.
It is. Well, Firewatch is more about choice.
Yeah.
Then The Witness isn't really about
Firewatch is intentional in like what it is building around you. It's not so much in
moment to moment,
like visual and stuff. Like, it's a gorgeous world.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
as The Witness was. It's just that was built with the idea of like, how can we mess with your perceptions and make puzzles out of that and stuff, whereas Firewatch is like, here's a beautiful ravine.
Firewatch, it's the difference. I mean, to me, it's the difference between. It's almost like doing a crossword versus coffee. Thanks. Suckers. It's the difference between doing a crossword and reading a book. To me,
okay,
they're both on paper, right, and stuff, but to me, well, I don't know. That's not a great way to put it, because actually,
it's like reading a book and reading a crossword book.
It's already, I don't know where we are anymore, but I agree. I don't know. Actually, you know, where I was going with that is I was gonna say like, Firewatch is more of a like enriching experience, but The Witness is that actually maybe even more so. It kind of does that really well too, I think. It's the Witness is way more explicit than Firewatch and what it's trying to say, I think. And but I don't think Firewatch wants to be as explicit as The Witness.
Yeah, I think they're just both extremely intentional in different ways.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
They make you think about things, but very different things.
Mm-hmm. Is there any what are the like details of this game that have really, because that's where it shines to me, is like the details of their choices, things like when I started at, let's see, so things like they'll just do things where I find in a lot of games you get talked at, or like when there's a narrative component happening, you just stand there and it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've noticed they at least allow for, if not kind of want you to do in this game, is while these narrative choices and things are happening, you'll also be doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
So like one of the most recent examples was I started a day. So these go in like days. It doesn't go day by day. So it'll be like the first day and then like the 8th day and then the 30th day. And I think I'm on, like, it skips weeks at a time. So one of the days started and I was standing and a conversation started on the walkie-talkie. And at the same time, I was given a task to go find boards.
Yep.
That was so good because I got to do the narrative stuff and listen. And I also didn't just have to stand, because my mind will wander if I'll in real life fidget or whatever. And I think I'm more prone to that than most people. But at the same time, I think everybody who has that problem in games when narration starts is you just kind of, games are meant to be interactive. They're meant to be played, you know,
Mm-hmm.
They're not meant to be watched. That doesn't mean it's never good that way, but we're there to stay engaged like that. So I really loved that. I hadn't even as a player ever considered, as a player and designer, I was like, of course we should be doing it this way. Like we should be like, give us more. Yeah. Like do these two things at once. Like that's my suspicion with that is that most people aren't doing it is that most people are probably standing there letting it happen because that's just what we're trained to do so far and with where design's at, and then they'll go do the other thing. Because I was kind of doing that at first until I started realizing I could often, whenever narration was happening, there was also another thing that could be done at the same time.
Like even just navigating and talking on the radio at the same time.
Like that, or just something around, like even if it's just like, there's always like a thing to do while these like really like rich narrative things are also happening. I don't feel like either takes away from the other. So is there anything, I don't know, is there stuff like that in this game for you? I mean, I'm sure there is, but can you think of any?
I could definitely tell the deliberate placement of stuff like that. So for example, it'd be like, oh, you got to hike over to the lake, and they know how much space is in between that, so they'll fit in a conversation at a certain point depending where you are, and then they'll fit in like a nice little song will come in and play for a little bit, and then another conversation and stuff. It's just like we can guess which path you're going to take there and how much time you're going to do. So not even just guess, but at least plan for that and be like, all right, we can kind of string these events together to make it more interesting, so you're not just walking across the world for no reason.
Yeah,
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah,
the pacing was really good overall.
The space. That stuff. What's that?
The pacing was really good overall in that stuff,
and it's done in a space that's, and the delivery of the space, if that makes any sense, is familiar. Like, it's fairly, it's open world in the way that Dark Souls is, where it feels open completely. Like you don't feel like you're being lied to about it being open. It is pretty open, but at the same time, you're also often going through narrow channeled areas, but it's done so well that you always feel like you're in this big open world. And it's like that middle ground, and it works really well. So yeah, it allows for what you said, where the progression is like they kind of know where you're going to be. So that every moment, I feel like every moment is designed, like really, even if nothing's happening, it was designed to be that way.
And that's why it's similar to The Witness in that sense. Really. Man, they were very meticulous in that.
Yeah, and I knew they would be. I expected that from them just listening to them talk about games. It's funny. You know what game I see the most in this game? Just because I've heard them talk about it so much is Far Cry 2. Yeah. Yeah, like the map, for example, is exactly, that's just lifted straight out of Far Cry, the way they do the map in that. And it's just great. And another influence I can see and I know is like TF2, the animation. Like when you look down, it looks like you're looking at the scout's body from TF2 pretty much. And that's not, I don't think they stole it by any means. I'm just saying the way that things are stylized, and also just the way things are animated, and the weight, it's very Pixar-y also, which I am not surprised by, because I know Jake, for example, really loves Pixar animation. And when I say that, what I mean is there's just, the motions have an arc to them, and like hands are big, and like when things are put down there, you feel the weight of things.
Yeah, I really liked the character animation a lot.
Yeah, the animation's amazing.
The thing I was surprised about that I did notice throughout the game is how minimalistic it was when it came to how much they actually put in that world character-wise. Incredibly so. Like there are not many human-like figures.
That's crazy. It hadn't even dawned on me. You're right. For such a narrative-driven game, you don't really see anybody, but you don't feel alone either.
Yeah, like because you're talking to Delilah the whole time, and you can see her tower most of the time.
And
so
you can see
like,
her
tower.
Yeah,
she's just over there. Like you're good.
Yeah.
Or whenever you.
And you're finding notes from people all the time
there's
from
notes.
The world, and like
there's people in the distance at first or something, like
when you find those girls at the thing, and
like
they're
right at the
like
beginning.
they're like, and you can see these girls that are like skinny, but they're off in the distance. But like it feels like it doesn't feel like they're fudging it.
Yeah, it's just like you can tell that that's a way they were able to focus on that less and focus on some of the stuff that's in your face a bit more, like the world and your character and stuff.
Yeah, they did it perfectly. I mean, that's always the challenge. Like, I feel like studios doing what they're trying to do, and studios that are of their size have this challenge where if you want to do a narrative-heavy game, that's really hard for a small studio, and usually that ends up playing it out as being a totally empty space, like Gone Home, or or The Witness, right? The Witness isn't. It's a pretty narrative game, I guess. But forget I said that. So like, Gone Home, or what's the other one I'm thinking of? There's just like Lifeless Mars or something like that. There's just like a lot of games that are narrative driven, or
Dear Esther, I'm thinking of
Dear Esther, or Layers of Fear, which is another one that came out. I don't know if you guys have played that. That's an interesting game. But they've done that thing that all these games do. Is what they do is they just leave out. They put you in an empty world and play up that emptiness. This game actually puts you in an empty world and
it makes it feel
remarkably good job of playing it down.
Right? I feel that. I mean, Gone Home's a totally different setting, so like it's supposed to be empty type thing. I think that this was way. I mean, it's different, so it's unfair to say it's way more successful in a way.
Well,
but like it's way more successful at populating that. I feel.
I mean, I don't think it's. I think it's fair to compare them equally because the Gone Home's premise is. I would be really surprised if it wasn't. The whole premise of that game wasn't built on the studio's their resources and ability.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So like, you know, sure, the story necessitates emptiness, but they needed a story that sort of played to that, right? Like that story exists the way it does to sort of complement their skill set.
Yeah.
So I know that Gone Home was made by 3 people.
Yeah, they were smaller at the time.
And I don't know how many people worked on this game.
I think 9 or 10 at least.
If it was that many, I mean, that's the difference right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. So, even just having that small team, though, like they're really successful at crafting a large world.
Yeah.
Do you come across any books that are familiar?
You just mean like laying around like
Speaking of a certain Gone Home.
Wait.
I assume you played it, right?
Oh, I played Gone Home, a couple times.
Okay.
I really love. That's one of my favorite games ever. No, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
All right, I'll see if I can find it.
It's not really like spoiling anything.
It's more of like an Easter egg, right?
Yeah,
I assume
guess
like
so.
a callback or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if do they exist in the same world?
That's what it's getting at.
Is it really? Oh, that's hilarious. I was totally fucking around. That's hilarious.
Which is in the BioShock world too, apparently, and the System Shock world.
Oh yeah, that stuff gets out of control.
By proxy, Firewatch, System Shock 2, conspiracy.
This is System Shock 3 is basically Firewatch is System Shock 3, basically.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I feel like I'm getting close to the end of this game. I've got some guesses as to where it's going, and I'm loving it. It's as good as I'd hoped it would be. It didn't catch me as immediately as I thought it would.
Yeah, same.
I picked it up, I played it, and I was like, "This is cool," and I can tell there's some good stuff here.
I was like, I feel like I like this.
You really gotta sink into it.
I got hooked towards the end though. I was just like, oh yeah. Like halfway through, I was just like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Another thing I was gonna say with just how we were talking about how well paced and stuff it is. One thing that I love that it did, and I know so many games just wouldn't do this. So, for example, a chapter is about to end or something, and maybe there's some stuff going on. It's just like, oh, I have to get back to my tower.
Yeah.
It just cuts it.
Yeah. Oh, it's just a hard cut right there.
Back,
yeah.
Like you're 10 minutes away from your tower. Instead of you having to walk back just for no reason, like get back to the tower and go to bed, like it just cuts it. And I'm like, oh god.
I mean, there's basically
so
no
good
time in this game, you know?
Yeah. That was another interesting thing too, because there's times in that game too where you think you're gonna do something, and then something else happens surprisingly, but then that's actually what was supposed to happen.
Right.
So it's just like get back to your tower, but then something else happens.
Right.
And, now we're involved in this.
Yeah, I actually the
story
just had a moment.
changes.
I know exactly. I think I might know what you're. I don't know. There's a moment.
Yeah.
That I just had that was exactly that, and it was really.
I think you're past that because I've seen what achievements you have. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm pretty close to the end. Would you say?
Yeah,
it's a short game. I mean, what is it
short.
like? 3 hours? 4 hours?
Yeah, about 4. I think.
I wish it was longer.
I think I did like 5, because I had to like pause and stuff for a bit. But yeah,
I think I should.
But that's good because that makes me want to go back and try it again.
I will go back too. Yeah,
totally.
I also feel like there's like if you. So here's another thing I want to talk about. There is like one thing I'm finding, I guess if I had a criticism, and it's not even a full criticism, it's sort of like, I don't know. I always feel like the fringes of the world, or wherever you are at the moment, the fringes of it, like the space kind of bleeds out, right? Like there's usually a decent amount of distance between you and whatever hard wall in the world there is, whether it be a literal rock wall or a cliff, or I mean like game bounds. Like I don't mean like, I mean like the physical game, the game bounds. It's usually a good distance from you. Yeah. But for me, my inclination is to always go to the edges, always. And I don't think this game wants you to do that.
I did not do that.
Yeah, I think, which is interesting. Like I'm always going to the wall. Like I know, trying to find the bounds of the game because I always want to find new stuff.
Yeah.
And while I do think this game does have a lot of surprises and details that I've not found, it also doesn't usually reward you for sort of like wandering away like that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think on my second one, I'm going to wander more.
That's what I'm trying to. That's part of the reason I want to play it. I kind of
stuck with the known path on it just because I wanted to like.
And I think that's what you're supposed to do. And I don't think there's really much for you if you don't do that. You know.
Yeah,
but it also doesn't stop you from doing it.
Yeah. I wonder if there is more out there.
Yeah. So
maybe some bears or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you go too far, you just get eaten by a bear.
One thing that's really cool is, did you find Turt Reynolds?
Turt Reynolds?
No, you didn't find. See, that's the one thing, and this is why it's hard. See, this is my criticism of the game, which is you can miss stuff like this. Which is, at some point, pretty early in the game, you find a turtle on a rock. It's sitting there. You could easily, and you did walk by it, right? Like it blends right in. So, like, looking that closely at things will reward you, but at the same time, it doesn't.
So, did you talk to her and then name the turtle?
Yeah, and so I named it Turt Reynolds. I think it gives you 3 options, and I named it Turt Reynolds.
I got confused for a second because there's a different Burt Reynolds joke in the game too.
Oh,
So I was like, wait, I did hear something Burt Reynolds. No, that was not it.
Yeah, no. So you find this turtle, and then if you keep it, it's then in a box in your watchtower for the rest of the game, just kind of walking around.
Damn it!
Yeah, it's really cool. And so
I get a fucking turtle.
So this game has that, right? Like it has these almost like granular surprises.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure as to when I should be when the game, like when that should be happening, right? And because that's not clear, and it's a thing that shouldn't be made clear in my opinion. Like it should be a thing that kind of just I don't know. Maybe they're doing it as well as you can. I don't know. But my problem that I have with it, which is a small one, is that I always want to find the stuff like Turt Reynolds, right?
Turt Reynolds,
which requires maybe you to wander to the game bounds. But usually there's nothing there, and I feel like those are conflicting things. Like, I don't know. I at the same time, I would say I don't think that Turt Reynolds is off the beaten path at all. I think it is. You could just easily just walk right by it as a thing.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. This game I think is a little ahead of its time. Honestly, I think it jumps ahead in assumptions like that. Like, it does a really good job of doing things differently, but at the same time, though the ideas are brilliant, they're too far ahead at a time in a way. Not too far ahead, but like there's such a great step forward that I don't even like. It never even occurs to me. Right?
What specifically do you mean?
Well, like I was saying earlier, with where you're doing 2 things at once. That's not a great.
Okay.
That's not the best example of it, but it's stuff like that where they'll do something. They're making these masterful decisions that I feel like subvert expectations, but we are so trained, or at least I'm so trained in gaming and to see games a certain way that it almost works against you.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I was even, I was thinking of that with the mission thing, where I was just saying, sends you off on a mission, but something else happens, and then it's not even like really that. It's like fooling you in a way. And I think that's really interesting. But I try and fathom how a different game would handle a situation like that. It's kind of like,
well, I mean, they do handle situations like that, and usually, and this is going again. I've been playing The Witcher, and another thing The Witcher does is it keeps moving in a way that games usually don't. Like every time you go to do something, The Witcher is actually, for as big of a game as it is so far, it's doing that thing you just said like all the time.
Nice.
Like I'm following the main story, and pretty much everything you're told to do doesn't end up playing out the way it's supposed to.
Okay.
And in a really fun, like a really way where you're like, oh, okay, so I want to see the next thing, like it does that really well, where it keeps sending you to do these things, and then when you go to do them, they're always a little different than you assume, and it's a total other, like, you know, games just never do that. The games are usually pretty straightforward in that way, where you know what's going to happen next, or like especially in a game like that where it's an RPG, they tell you to go find a guy, he's going to be there. Like it almost never plays out like that in The Witcher 3.
That's good. And that I mean, that's probably why I hear really good things about the game too. Just 'cause...
Yeah, it's a good game for sure. I'm not into it right now. I don't know. I'm honestly, Dark Souls is so close that I'd rather play Dark Souls, and I'm kind of saving myself I'm saving myself for Dark Souls. Really though, I mean, because that game is really similar in a lot of ways, the combat, and I think Dark Souls actually is a way better. What I get out of The Witcher, I think Dark Souls does way better, so I'm more interested in that anyways.
And then there's Minecraft. What
about it?
Oh,
that's good.
It's good. Get that feels.
Have you played or heard of Firewatch, Tom?
Yeah, I played up until the skinny dipping scene, and then I just haven't.
And then I haven't.
Glad we just ran through everything.
Well, I don't think we gave anything away.
I mean, it was pretty much stuff I had already assumed.
Yeah, all that. Him and her any specifics we talked about are very early.
Yeah, I like the dynamic between him and her. I mean, I don't really like.
Yeah, how's that? How's that going for you so far?
But, I don't know. I kind of played the sarcastic asshole. Game, but she's kind of into it, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like 3 approaches the game basically gives you. One is to like play along. 2 is to like just be as big of a smartass as she is, and 3 is to just kind of close up. And it sounds like we've all kind of each done it differently. I was
sarcastic, at least for most of it.
Yeah. I mean, I am at times
just because it's good banter.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny,
and they are actually yeah. The game is genuinely pretty funny. Yeah. It does have a great sense of humor to it. I don't think there's ever really been a time where the words written are spoken. There was like maybe once where I made a choice and the way he said it was tonally completely different than what I thought it was going to be, but that's pretty rare, I find.
Yeah.
Usually you know what's going to come what they're getting at.
Yeah, I think I definitely hit that at least once.
Yeah.
That's really, really difficult.
Yo, how far did you guys take the radio? I took the radio. I almost wonder if you can take the radio through that whole game. The part when you're talking about the skinny dipping, you can pick up the radio and just take it. And they react to that. Like, you can, like, they're just like, what the fuck, you're taking our radio? And all you do, it never, like, explicitly gives you the choice. You just do that, and then they react to it.
I just turned it off.
Oh, man. Yeah, I picked it up, and I was just like, I'm taking your radio. And they were like, what the fuck? And then I just carried the radio for probably 20 minutes into the game, like a really long time. I was, like, throwing it up on cliffs, and I think you could probably take it through the rest of the game.
Wow.
I threw it in the water, true. Like, right off.
What's that? You threw it in the water? That's funny. What did they do?
I saw somebody do that in the Let's Play, and I'm like, yeah.
How did they react to that?
They were like... They got pretty mad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like think.
So they actually react to you throwing it in the water, though?
Yeah.
Like specifically throwing it in the water.
And then there's like different radio dialogue. Because then he'll be like, yeah, I threw the radio in the water.
Yeah, and mine was, I took their radio. Yeah. That's the detail that's in this game that is just like, you wouldn't even know, right?
You didn't even... I did not know.
There's like, you don't even know when you're getting the details, right? Like, I love it. It's just such a well done game. And, I'm just really enjoying it.
I like that like interaction between him and her when he's like walking down the path and he finds like bra and panties.
Yeah.
She's like, grow up.
Yeah.
You ever seen panties before? Oh, of course I do.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny seeing, I actually saw that scene Let's Played partially too, and that the Let's Player handled that really immaturely, and I was sort of like annoyed by that. And that's just like another testament to how it could have been done, right? Like, and they just, like, he's like, ooh, bro, but like not, he's actually just being like, ooh, bros and panties. He's not like trying to like,
naked girls.
Yeah, he was literally being like it. So, he was not ready for the adult experience of Firewatch. So yeah, hopefully by next podcast I'll be done and you'll be here and we can spoil the fuck out of it. Because, I think there's, The Witness, I feel like we should leave alone because that's such a solitary experience. But I feel like we could you and I knowing what we know about the creators and liking the game as much as we do, I think there's some value to just kind of tearing this one apart as much as we can, and kind of not really worrying about spoilers.
I'm into it.
Yeah, so hopefully next time we get to do that.
Another playthrough.
Yeah, and then I'll probably finish it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like you can't have that much time left.
Yeah.
How many achievements do you have? 3 or 4?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I saw you had at least 3 last night.
I don't usually care about achievements.
Yeah. This one just, I mean, they're linear, like, throughout the story, so it's like...
Right, this one, they are there because they have to be, I assume.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any of those guys are really like achievements. I think they're exactly like you said. They're just there because they have to be for other platforms, like the Xbox requires them and stuff.
I think PlayStation might as well.
Yeah.
You know, The Witness only had 2 achievements.
Really?
I only have one of them, so...
What are they?
Beat the game, and then I assume beat everything would be the other. And
you can beat the game without beating all the puzzles?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of stuff in that game.
There is a lot of stuff. That's why I was really impressed you beat it.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed, though.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was... Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got real difficult.
Yeah, I bet.
The game's tough. But...
And what else did we want? You wanted to talk about a game you played.
Fallout.
Yeah, the new Fallout
DLC.
DLC.
Fallout, but I mean, the DLC is pretty great.
Right. So, what's so good about it?
Well, they brought back the Mechanist from Fallout 3, which is pretty awesome.
What are these? The
Mechanist.
What is that?
There was a town. I can't remember what it was, the name of the town, but you like walk in and there's a guy who's dressed as like a giant ant. Like he's got this big ant costume on. He's standing on one side of the street. The Mechanist is on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
And they're just sending their like minion robots and minion ants at each other and just beating the shit out of each other in the middle of the street.
This is in 3?
Yeah.
I don't remember this at all.
And it's not the same Mechanist. I don't want to like spoil it.
Okay.
Because I guess it's still too soon, which I guess I just did.
All right, from here on out, we might spoil some stuff on Fallout 4, but we'll
So
try not to. But if you're really worried about it, get out.
But
I haven't played it yet.
they really stepped up the difficulty because I mean I've been playing.
Yeah, I saw you playing it and just getting your ass kicked, but and you have really good gear.
XO1 armor, like fully, like I think it's not MK6, it's like MK5.
Yeah,
it's pretty close. And I have like ultimate, like I think the heavy duty combat armor on and everything, and like even like the smallest robots are just smoking me. No time.
Yeah,
I'm going in there with like everything I got, and I've like burned through all my ammo and everything for all my good guns, so I'm kind of.
Yeah, didn't you get like hit a point where you just like completely ran out of ammo and stuff, and you had to like
I had
leave?
like a couple 10mm rounds left, and I had like Grognak's axe. So I mean that does damage, but as soon as I get close to them, they're just like doing their robot shit.
And they'll come at you. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
Robot shit.
Like I got into like the final battle. He's just sending robots after robots after robots. I'm like, I don't have any ammo.
Did you finish the DLC?
No.
Yeah.
I got to that point and I was just getting my ass handed.
Is that
to me,
the end?
So I had to like I'm not sure.
Okay.
Like I watched a Let's Play.
Right.
And I got farther than that I should have watching it, and I already know how it's gonna end.
Yeah, you said you accidentally saw the end.
The iBot schematics are like on the table after you beat it, and that's all I want.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care. Like I'm gonna try and I have the jetpack for the power armor, so I might just try and run down there, like jetpack up there, grab the iBot schematics, and I don't care if I ever beat the Mechanist. I just want to build an iBot.
Maybe that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah, I mean, what I really liked was like one of the main features they were showing off at the beginning was that you could build your own robot just out of random pieces of other robots that they've had throughout the game. And I thought, you're gonna have to like beat the DLC to unlock it. It's like first thing they give you, like, hey, build a robot. They don't give you all the parts. Like you have to like defeat robots and find parts of other ones like off their like scavenging them. But it's pretty great.
Yeah. So what does that robot do for you?
It's like a companion.
So does it? Oh, so it replaces a companion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it attacks I basically have like a flying sentry bot right now.
That's pretty cool.
Robo Buddy.
Yeah.
How does it compare to the companions? Like, is it as strong, stronger? Is it like was it Fox in 3 where he just basically once you got him, he beat the game for you? Is it like that?
No, I mean I'd say mine's not as much of a pain in the ass as some of the companions, like Preston. Like, oh my god, He's the worst.
Yeah, nobody likes that guy. Poor Preston. Everybody hates that guy, and they
Well,
love
it's like
to
every
hate him.
mission you beat, you have to go tell him. It's like, just figure it out for yourself. Like, I don't want to go see you.
Yeah,
but like when I played New Vegas, like the iBot Eddie, he was like my jam. Played like that.
companion.
Yeah, he had like that classical like and he'd like fly in and just start shooting shit. He'd just do his thing, and he's like totally not in my way. He's like stealthy because he doesn't like walk.
Oh right,
so he's quiet.
So that's what you're trying to get back to.
Yeah, just want an iBot.
Yeah,
That's all I want.
I can't remember who I had in New Vegas as my companion. Oh no, I don't know.
I liked Rex too. He's like the cyborg dog.
Yeah,
He was cool.
that's in 3 or New
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, you'd like take him from the leader of the Kings, and because he's like, yeah, his brain's bad, so you got to go get him a new one. And you go to this old lady's garage, and she's got like 50 dogs, and you like pick one, and she kills the dog and gives you its brain.
Holy shit!
It just goes, it like cuts to black, and you hear her like killing the dog, and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
It's pretty traumatizing.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you get a brain, and then you take it up to the mountains and find this doctor dude, and he's like, puts a new brain in.
I never got to that part of New
You get a
Vegas.
robot dog. New Vegas was great.
It was
Nobody
that was
likes
really
it.
good.
But-
Oh, everybody likes that.
Really?
Yeah,
Nobody liked it when it came out, but then
yeah.
Now
that's
they're
what
not
it
good
was.
more
because
like-
I was watching all the. It was like WonderCon or something, and like literally everybody who liked Fallout went as an NCR Ranger.
Yeah,
There's like 200 people there, like all as Rangers. And I'm like,
yeah. No, New Vegas that was a great game. So there's gonna be more Fallout 4 DLC, right? Like they've already announced several.
yeah, there's 4 of them altogether.
Yeah.
That's only the first one. I don't know what the other ones are going to be yet. I think I heard something about one of them, but I don't remember what it was.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, it's a. I gotta get into Fallout. Like, I liked 3 and New Vegas a lot. I just feel like I've kind of done what I want to do in those games. Like, I feel like 4 is a great game and it continues the series really well. It's just that kind of done with it. I'm always I don't know. I feel like there's always more games for me to play, so sometimes it's hard for me to go backwards like that.
Yeah,
and go
because
back
you definitely, like, when that came out, like, I sat there and waited till the countdown clock dropped and then came out at midnight, and I probably didn't move for 2 weeks.
That's
like,
crazy.
I specifically took time off from, like, everything.
What do you
so I
What do you
wouldn't
like
have-
about those games so much?
It's just, like, it feels like it's so well adapted because they've, like, had it going for so long. Like,
Totally. Yeah.
there's, like, inside jokes for, like, everything. Like, they reference, like, movies, like, I think it was New Vegas. Like, you can find Indiana Jones' dead body in a fridge. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
weird shit like
Remember
that.
that? Yeah.
You like,
Heard
you
about
can
that.
like pick a lock for like a master lock, and the door opens, and it's just a brick wall. It says like "fuck you."
I
on
saw
it.
that too. Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
Yeah, that game does have. I mean, it's sort of like, it sort of has the endlessness that Minecraft has, but inside a narrative space almost, right?
Mhm.
Like, there's just always like new interactions and like little things to discover like that. Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be in the next 2 weeks. I'd say they're coming out with the new the update for survival mode, so it's like super realistic.
Yeah.
You have to, like,
How are they
eat,
changing
sleep.
that? Yeah.
Sleeping's the only way you can save. You can't fast travel. You do more damage, but you take a lot more damage.
I might play through. Like, I
heal
could
a
play
lot
through like
slower.
that. I hope if they do. I hope they do a really like good job balancing that. That actually might be how I just play the game.
I believe in New Vegas it was called hardcore mode.
They
Like,
had it in New
didn't
Vegas.
work. Like, they gave you a flask or something,
Yeah.
or like a water bottle, and you would just drink out of it. Like, you never had to refill it or anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there wasn't really much.
I thought. Yeah, I got the sense that it was kind of not all it could be in New Vegas, so I never really fucked with it.
Yeah, I think now they're really gonna flush it out.
If they do that, I will be really excited. Actually, and I will play that. I will probably only play it that way.
Because right now it's really hard, but
yeah.
it's fine when I'm like outside the mechanism space. But
Yeah, but once they like close in the space and you don't have a lot of options. I mean, that's like kind of my. I don't know if we've talked about it on this podcast, but certainly with like John and I argue about it all the time, which is like, I just feel like the gameplay in that game becomes pretty arbitrary in a way. Like, it's just like there's not a lot of give and take. It's more just like some shit comes at you and you blow it up or you don't. And like, I feel like I get killed unfairly a lot of times in that game and stuff like that. It lacks predictability and maneuverability that I feel like games should have, and it's kind of inherent to what that game is. you just, I don't know, like that game is just so big and crazy and complex that it kind of has, I mean, it's hard to like tighten up the gameplay as much as I complain about. So yeah, in a space like that where you can't really get away and stuff, like it gets really hard because
like that was one of the hardest parts about the Mechanist base is there's a room that you like walk into and there's all these lasers and you have no option except for to trip the lasers.
Yeah.
And there's like Tesla turrets. There's 2 behind you and 2 ahead of you.
Oh shit!
And those things like 3 seconds and it was just totally dead.
Right. Yeah.
So I had to like figure it all out. Like I walked in with the Fat Man. As soon as they popped out of the wall, I shot the ones in front of me, and then I hit VATS and did the ones behind me. But it took me like 30 tries to figure out like the perfect move.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, it's because once you can like shoot at them while they're there, but they're like inside the wall kind of, so they won't take any damage until they like activate it and pop out. So you have to trip them.
Right. Yeah.
Shoot them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well. Yeah.
I'm ready for Fallout 5 though.
Has there been any rumors? There's got to be.
No, I mean,
yeah, there's certainly they have to be starting on that already.
I remember like it's probably like freshman year of college. I saw this trailer for Fallout 4, and everybody's fighting over whether it's real or not. They were playing like I don't remember the name of the song. It was like Seals and Croft or something, like one of their like sad songs. And it's just like panning out of this like RV, and like everybody's dead inside the RV, and it's like going through the woods, and then it's like an enclave sniper.
Yeah,
and it like totally looked legit. Like
that's like
that never had anything to do with anything.
Yeah, that's kind of how like
Far
the
Cry
3
3
trailer was, or all the trailers kind of do that pan out of like a crashed thing or whatever. Like I know I know 3 for sure, and I think the ones
they started
before
on the bus and backed out.
Yeah,
so it seemed
yeah, it's exactly what they do. Huh.
But there's so many weird like levels of fans of Fallout. It's like because the lore goes like so deep.
Yeah,
like when Fallout 4 was like I think the first page of the script got leaked, and then like there's these things like a website would pop up for 24 hours and it would play like a Morse code message, and that would lead you to another thing that was going to happen like 3 days from now.
Oh really? They had all this?
It was weird, and it was all like fan based stuff. Like half of it had nothing to do with anything. It was just fans just dicking around.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
They get really crazy.
That's cool, but it also probably makes it really hard to do a cool ARG for Bethesda, right? When everybody was already doing all that shit, it kind of obscures. Because like ARGs to be good, they need to be pretty cryptic, but you need to be the only one doing it. Because if other people are just putting stuff out there, then it becomes kind of illegible. You know?
I think they kind of like roll with it though, because you never know what's real and what's not at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's probably going to be like 2020 before Fallout 5 comes out.
Yeah, probably. I hope. I don't know. Interested to see.
But I mean, the jump from like 3 to 4 or like New Vegas to 4 was like insane.
So, well, yeah, that's what I was saying. I did say when Fallout 4 first came out, I did say like, this one's really good, but like thinking about the jumps in fidelity and just not fidelity, but like just the general, I don't know, the progress they made between them. I was like, I can't wait to see 2 Fallouts from now, because that shit's gonna be just insane. You know, like they really do up it pretty substantially every time, and you know, I just
like it'll most likely be VR at that point. Like God, if it catches on, I
hadn't even
like
thought about that.
It's gonna be like, no, I'm never coming back.
It'll just be the stereotypical like stained mattress in an empty room, strapped into VR, like that, all the sci-fi horror stuff. You'll just literally be that.
I'll be like the guy from that like South Park episode.
Yeah, the fat guy.
Yeah,
I am that.
Life goals.
Aim high. And then so one other game I wanted to talk about that everybody's been playing around here lately is Devil Daggers.
Yeah.
Another one I'm not involved with.
Have you?
I'm very out of the loop with what you guys do. I feel like I got my own thing going on.
Well, you got to get into our Slack chat.
Yeah.
Devil Daggers is basically, I would describe it as, it looks like Quake and actually kind of plays like, you know, the Quake and Doom series, but the exception is you're basically standing in one spot of a lit area of maybe like I don't know. I guess you could say like the size of
100 feet in diameter.
Yeah,
maybe.
something like that. And it's lit, and then it just kind of fades out into darkness. And
also in hell.
Is it?
That's what I heard.
It feels like it, kind of.
Oh, it is.
No, not as much fire, but like, it feels like hell, like without the fire, but like still very evil and stuff. And it's like sort of Lovecraftian, and so like all this stuff just kind of like you're standing in the space, you get some room to move around, and then the monsters just kind of come in, and you stay alive as long as you can. Which I think the record at the space right now is a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And the world record's like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
It's a hard ass game.
I think Wayne's over 100 seconds, I think.
Is he? Oh shit.
I think so.
I gotta get back in.
Yeah, I beat you.
Did you?
At least the other day I did. I beat you and Mark.
Yeah, but how much time do you have in it?
Only like a half hour, I think.
Oh shit, I thought I was cool because I had like 10 minutes in it and I beat Mark. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and so I believe it spawns the same way every time.
Yeah, I'm still kind of figuring that out. I don't know if it spawns things quicker if you kill quicker or not. I wonder if that could actually elongate things or not. I don't think so.
I think it's all
it might just
a
be
strict
time
timer.
based.
Yeah.
Man, that really gets my heart rate going.
That game it's not
stressful.
You like seriously, you can't help but just like get sucked into the flow state because you have to stay alive. You just have to be always moving and killing and shooting.
Yeah, it's very minimalistic. I didn't even realize you could do like a shotgun blast for the first 20 minutes of playing it.
Yeah, it took me a little while and I figured it out, but that's a big difference.
I wonder if there's anything else. I don't know. I haven't really tried. You don't have
I don't
time
know.
to try.
Yeah, you really don't.
Kind of came by accident.
The game doesn't tell you a whole lot.
No,
like
they don't tell you
it
anything,
implies, really. But like it doesn't tell you anything. Really.
Yeah.
It just starts you there and you click and you shoot and you go, oh, I guess this is a shooting game, and then
and then you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and then you go,
these things
shit.
really want to kill me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Actually, the minimalist part of this is my favorite. It is the most concise design I've probably ever seen. I don't know. That's hard to say, but it's up there. It just is that one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It has a leaderboard, and then it's it. It gets out. Like that's the whole game.
And it's good.
And it's like, awesome.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm working on a game very similar, and I'm sitting here wondering, like, as I'm working on this game, do I have enough? And then I played this game, and I'm like, oh yeah, if I can. This game has basically my systems. I'm making a racing game, and I'm gonna have a leaderboard, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know. I mean, I assumed that was probably enough, and I had a good feeling it was, but I didn't know. And then I saw this, and I was like, yeah, that's totally doable. That's enough, plenty. Like you can get. It's like a $5 game.
Yep.
Plenty deep. Like I said, very concise and minimalist, but you don't feel like it's missing anything at all.
Really fun to just hop in, play a few rounds, which is practically impossible to only play a few.
Yeah, because you're just always like, oh, I could just do a little
you're just
better,
like, one more. It's like 20 seconds, whatever.
Yeah.
You end up playing for 20 minutes. You're like,
yeah.
All right, got a new high time. I'm done hating myself for a bit. I'm going to get out of this. But, it's stressful. It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it is. It's a great game.
And it's good to talk shit to your friends because also that leaderboard puts your friends front and center too, which is always a great move.
That's what gives it the depth it needs.
Yeah, and since we now know 7 people on there at least,
we're all hooked. We're all just hooked on it, trying to beat each other.
Be
right?
a bunch of shit talkers.
Yeah,
Wayne, who astonishingly got 100 seconds somehow. But
that's crazy.
But then again, I think I'm up to like 64 or something. So I was like, yeah, I guess I could.
Yeah, I'm like 60.
Yeah, I think I just.
And it's funny, each playthrough, it's interesting how you kind of land in the same place every time. I do, at least. Like, when I was trying to push myself up, I was hitting about 50 seconds every time.
Yeah.
And it's not like it. I mean, as much as it does kind of spawn out on a fixed timer, really the way it unfolds is pretty dynamic, depending on how quickly you kill things and sort of just what you get done in the first, how quickly you're able to just sort of like knock stuff out kind of dictates how intense and how far you get. And I just find I was consistently, though I was getting, it unfolded differently every time, I was still hitting about 50 seconds every time.
Yeah.
And then
I think you grow more effective at dealing with each individual wave. That's kind of how it goes. Because even at first, that first guy, you're just like, oh God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And then, after 20 or so minutes, you're just like, shoot, okay, he's done.
Yeah. Exactly. You know where to move, how to shoot it, and it's gone. Right?
I think,
exactly.
Even though they're on a timer, I think the enemies their position is random on the sides.
I don't know. I can't. I never
feel like
get
I'm
a
not,
sense of what's where.
Yeah, I'm not turning the same way every time.
Yeah,
I feel so because I played it in headphones a bunch because I play it like late at night. And,
oh shit. That's
but
crazy.
they're like nice surround headphones, so
that's worse.
I could be like, I'm like, oh, you fucker, you're over there.
Oh my god, yeah, it's such a creepy game. I couldn't play it. Like I played it like on my girlfriend's couch, and I needed that because it's so scary.
Yeah. Please hold me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's creepy. It's not really like scary.
No, it's just like.
There's no jump scares. It's just kind of like
exactly. It's creepy in the way, like,
unless you really don't realize someone's behind you, like
then that can happen.
Yeah, and I'll just be like, you just
like, turn around suddenly. And there's just a flaming skull in your face.
It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, that'll
get
you.
Off,
but it just the delivery of like this just doomy evil it has is just so heavy that it's so good. Like they just did it in a really good way.
Yeah, this is actually Doom 4.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably do that better than Doom's ever done it. You know, for all of its, the problem with Doom is it's never really been subtle. And I don't know, this game has like, still when you kill stuff, it just explodes in blood, and it still has that, but it still feels subtle in a lot of ways.
Probably just because it looks like a PlayStation game.
It does, but like in the best way.
Yeah, looks real good.
Yeah. Well, should we call that a cast? I'm done. I'm hot. We got to get a fan in this one.
We do. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm good. All right.
Do
it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for another cast, and hope to see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you.
My hand's asleep.